The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for all your gaming news with reviews, guides, and walkthroughs. And right now, be sure to check out their featured article, The Shack News 25 Most Anticipated Games of 2021. And they do much more than just write great articles at Shack News with celebrity interviews and weekly Twitch streams. So make sure you go subscribe with them on Twitch. And now Shack News is changing the video game coverage landscape with Shack News Cortex, where you can post your own articles and get involved in the gaming community right on their site. So if you're a gamer, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @ShackNews and at ShackNews.com.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's to the 10. He's still running to the 5. He dips outside left. He's doing it. Touchdown. Away. Back to goal.
Reflog. Insert golfer backwards. Boom shakalaka.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, January 18th, 2021. I'm your host, Big Play Dave, alongside the coach. After a hell of a season, Mr. Chris McNeil. What is going on, man?
Dave, I'm recovering. We lost yesterday, as everybody knows, but I'm positive. I'm pretty positive about the direction of the Cleveland Browns. I know we're going to get into it, but I came out of that game less disappointed than I expected and really a lot more optimistic than what I would have expected. So that's a good thing.
Hell of a season. Nick Padone, you still got it on. What do you got there? Is that a Baker jersey this week?
Oh, yeah. I got the Baker jersey on this week. Yeah, still got it on. Haven't taken it off. You know what? All good things must come to an end, such as the 2020 Browns. But the good news is it's not the end for them, guys. That's not the loss that stinks up the whole offseason like losses to end the year in Cleveland Browns past. So glad to be on with you boys tonight and glad we get to wash this away and look ahead.
That's right. We played football in 2021.
I'm very proud of us. Very proud of us. We are handling this like mature adults.
Right?
Oh,
yeah.
you didn't
Act
want
like
me to
you've been there before, even though we haven't really.
You didn't want me to act like Johnny Manziel and thank Jimmy Haslam on my Twitter and do Stephen A. drinking his drink in a GIF form. You didn't want me to do that?
We'll get to Johnny later. We got a great show tonight. So tonight on the show, we'll kick it off with Power Rank Monday. We're going to go best moments, best everything from this season, 2020-21 season. The Browns,
I guarantee,
incredible
Dave,
season.
First time we've ever done that, right? After a Browns season.
Last year, years past, before last year, we'd be like ranking candy bars the last week after a Browns game. Like, I'd rather be in this spot.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll power rank everything we love from this season. Then we'll get into our featured interview with Yahoo Sports columnist Dan Wetzel, friend of the show, returning to help us break down those brownies. And then we'll get into this week's headlines. So reviewing the season, looking forward to the off season, roster moves, free agents. Get a little into that. What kind of food Kevin Porter Jr. threw.
That's what everybody wants to know. That's why I'm here tonight.
Nick,
I want to find out exactly what happened with Kevin Porter throwing food. We've got an epidemic there in the Cavs locker room the last few years of people throwing food. So we got to find out the latest installment of that action.
That's right. Yeah, and get into the comments. What's going on, everybody? Tell us how you feel about the end of this season, favorite moments. And then we're going to do Stump the Flog. We haven't done that in a while.
Always brutal.
Always brutal. So Stump the Flog. I will give Nick and Chris a topic, and they will go back and forth until we have a loser. And then we're going to do a new segment. We're scratching bold predictions this week. We're going to go best and worst tweets of the week. We'll see how that goes.
And Dave, of course, we're going to have baseball cards thrown in there at some point. Because
Yes.
That's mandatory.
It's been too long.
It has. Like a week.
Let's kick it off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
All right, so Brown season ended yesterday. 12-6, 18-year playoff drought snapped. Most wins, first postseason victory since 1994. Added cherry on top against the Steelers. So we're going to go ahead, look back on the season, power rank best moments, wrap it up, 2021 Browns season. I will kick it off with my number 3. I got to go with beating Big Ben in the playoffs, making him cry on the sidelines. We talked about it last week, getting that monkey off our back. That was one of the greatest moments for all Browns fans for a very, very long time. My number 2, I'm going to go with the return of Hollywood Higgins. Chris, we talked about this Baker's rookie year with Higgins, that chemistry. We saw that kind of return here. He had a catch in every single Browns game this year. 599 yards, 4 touchdowns. Go sign him to a fair deal. You get Odell back. That wide receiving corp is good to go for 2021.
You touched on it. He is a free agent. We could let him walk.
Absolutely not. That wouldn't make any sense. And then number 1, finding our franchise quarterback. If you aren't on board now, you never are going to be. Get on the Baker bandwagon. He's our franchise guy. The days of trying to hype up Charlie Fries and Brady Quinns of the world are over. Thank God. We have a franchise quarterback. This is it. We've made it. That is what we've been looking for 20 years.
Pride of Akron there and pride of Dublin, Ohio.
Yeah, went after two Ohio guys. Sorry.
That's right.
That's my number 1. Chris, what do you got? Top 3 moments, top 3 things that come to mind for this season.
Number 3 is getting to the playoffs, right? I mean, it's been a long road back. And then the chef's kiss, which was Jim Donovan's call, where he says, the only thing missing is you. And that's just a great way to not only wrap up the Browns season going into the playoffs, but then also everything we went through 2020. And Jim just encapsulated it so well with that call. That's something that I know is going to be replayed for years to come. This is where the Browns broke it, and that was the call that's associated with it. So hats off to Jim Donovan, and that was a great moment for us as Browns fans. My number 2, the second half of that Bengals game, where we thought we were sunk, same old Browns.
Yeah.
And then Baker Mayfield came and just balled out in that game. And we really hadn't seen a whole lot of that side of Baker. And we really didn't see a whole lot of that the entire season. But for that particular half of football, he was there. He showed up. We needed to throw the ball. He did throw the ball, and he made some throws in that ball game that we're going to be seeing on highlight films for a long time. I mean, he really showed up when we needed him there at a time when, we know the way these divisional games can be. That could be a turning point for the entire season.
Oh, yeah.
And he was able to get it done, and that was big. That was big. And then my number 1. Making Big Ben cry. You touched on it, Dave. We are going to have memes for years thanks to that playoff. It shut everybody up. The week before, I had so many Pittsburgh Steelers fans going, oh, congratulations. You just beat our B team, just barely.
Yep.
What are you going to do? And we're at full strength, and we got Big Ben back. Well, we saw what happened. We went into their house. We punked them there. We had Big Ben crying on the bench and providing just memeage for years. Fantastic moment for us. So that is another moment that I will not forget anytime soon, Dave.
He's so lucky that the national shot of the zoom in where they panned in on him crying was like they cropped a little bit of his head so he couldn't be the new crying Jordan meme. Like we just missed out on that. But
yeah,
Chris, get your Photoshop to work. I think you could figure out a way to make it happen.
I'm sure.
Nick, what do you got? Top 3.
All right, cool. I'm going with my number 3.
Good place to start.
The Tennessee Titans game, guys. That's kind of when I knew that this team was like for real, like making it past possibly the first round of the playoffs for real. That game was so much fun. If you remember, even leading up into that, not many people picked the Browns nationally. The question was, how do the Browns stop Derrick Henry? And the game turned into, how does Tennessee try to stop Baker Mayfield? That was an awesome game offensively. That was definitely the best half of Cleveland Browns football that I had watched really since the second half of the Cincy game. But it was so complete. It was so fun. It was everything you can ask for offensively out of the Browns in that game. So I'm going with the Titans game.
That's a good one.
My number 2 is finding that franchise head coach, the quarterback, the GM. How about just the cohesion? That's the buzzword that was used all off.
Alignment.
And we finally, guys, we finally saw it aligned. We finally see the vision, the light at the end of the tunnel. Not only is your quarterback and your head coach there and competent, but I believe the GM is there too. And I believe Andrew Berry does deserve a hat tip for his work in a short Corona offseason. How about this? Right as he gets the job, the world shuts down due to COVID-19 and all the weird protocols that went into meeting with NFL draft prospects and free agent prospects remotely when the whole world was just trying to learn how to go remote. And now his second year as a GM, there's no NFL combine again. And yet still all of his rookie class that was healthy managed to start a game. Everyone except Grant Delpit started a game for the Cleveland Browns this year. So finding that franchise cornerstone head coach, QB, GM, that's my number 2.
I love John Dorsey, but could you imagine going through an entire year as a player with him on Zoom, just like, oh, buddy boy, just like his internet's not quite working. Like, thank God we got the nerds in here. They know how to use a computer.
Yeah, definitely. It was so refreshing to finally see some competence in the Browns front office and the organization as a whole. And really, it gives fans hope that this is the turnaround. But with that turnaround, my number 1, beating Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. That's something that they haven't been able to do in so long. And like Dave said, to just shed that monkey off your back, that's gone, that's done. You've beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Your season always boils down to, well, did you beat the Steelers? And more times than not throughout my life, the answer is no, you didn't beat the Steelers. And that's how you ended up missing the playoffs. But for once, they did it in back-to-back weeks. They did it in spectacular fashion. My fondest memory that'll live on forever of this season is winning that game in Heinz Field.
By the way, did you think Pittsburgh Steelers fans would be as salty and pouty and whiny as they have been?
Yes, absolutely. You know why? Because they've known and they've dreaded this day for a very long time. When I was at that 0-16 game and all them drunken fans were yelling that, Baker or Sam Darnold was going to suck and LeBron was going to leave, they knew in the back of their heads that, well, if the Browns somehow hit for once on some of these draft picks that they've accumulated with some of this cap space, at some point that baton will be passed. So they've known, they've had this hatred and this fear crumbled up inside them for a very long time. So kudos for those Pittsburgh Steelers fans. You guys had a great run, but there's a new sheriff in town, new sheriff in the AFC North.
Woo! Let's check in with those comments. We got Jesus through hands. What's going on?
Nice.
He said Baker's found his balls. All right. Kev, what's up, Kev? He says no back-to-back losses this year. That's something we are not really used to. Not bad there.
That's fantastic,
Yeah.
too. That says a lot about coaching in my mind. You
Yeah,
know?
big time.
Getting the guys ready, and when they're down, being able to pick them up quickly, even if you're doing it through Zoom calls and doing practices in parking decks.
Seriously, yeah. 316 on Twitter says there's a foundation in Cleveland that they've been searching for years. That's a good word, foundation. Typically, people say identity. I'm like, what's the identity of the Cleveland Browns? Oh, run.
Orange pants.
It's orange pants. That's what it is, Chris.
Pants, damn it.
Everything is orange pants. It's like that GIF, of the guy pointing from outer space. It's all orange pants. It always has been.
That's exactly right.
That's what was missing all these years.
Yep.
They tried it. They tried the orange pants, but they had to put Browns down the side and size 72 font. So much better this way.
That's funny.
How about Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year? Huh? That should make a make a power ranking.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. What's Chris?
See, and I'm still here.
That's Chris.
Oh yeah, Chris is frozen.
I'm gonna turn that down. That's a great song.
That's some DJ Nick right there.
All right, I'm gonna have to kick him out. That's a nitch it. That's a nitch it. I had to kick him out.
And now there's two.
Had to kick him out. Chris has been voted off the island. Kev says, what the F is that? I have no idea. Chris
didn't get the rose. That's what didn't happen.
Chris,
he's getting sent home.
Chris is a robot, and he's out of service.
Yeah. Today's episode titled "The Soundboard Bites Back."
That was funny. All right, so we're going to welcome in Dan Wetzel once we get Chris back here from Yahoo Sports. Talk some more Browns, talk about that game. He's got a nice article talking about our Cleveland Browns, national reporter for Yahoo. But, Nick, let's get into some headlines here because we got to wrap up this season. I know we just did Power Rank Monday, but a lot to take in, a lot to talk about. So let's get into some Cleveland headlines. The comments loved it. Kev, what the F is that? Ben's singing along. That should.
Nice.
Jared says, feel like I need glow sticks and a pacifier. And Cam says, LOL. Good stuff there. Sorry about that. All right, let's get into some headlines because a lot of different opinions out there in the Twitterverse. Nick, you were telling me about that. I didn't see a whole lot of the negativity out there after yesterday's loss. Kind of must have muted everything. But what were your initial thoughts just right after that game?
I mean, right after the game, man, it's just the sinking stink of, wow, I can't believe it's over. You know, it sucks that Chad Henne came in at the end and ran a 3rd and 15 to the 14, and then they were able to get that yard on just an awesome play call. But to me, Dave, that was one of those games where somebody had to lose. And Kevin Stefanski has put together that Coach of the Year candidacy that we were just talking about. But Andy Reid is one of the great offensive minds ever. And he got a lot of flack at the beginning of his career, Andy Reid did, for some of the crazy stuff that he did. But now that they have this team and these weapons, we'll see what he's capable of doing. So it sucks that it had to end that way, but if there was a team for the season to end against, I guess I'm fine with it being the Super Bowl champs, who very well, by the way, could go right back and win it all again.
The Chad Henne's going to hurt for a while.
It stings.
Because we were talking right before we started this show. I was like, once he threw that pick just right to us in the end zone, that was the moment me and my buddies hanging around watching the game were like, we're going to go win this game. And then the offense stalls out. It happens. We'll talk about the punt. You know, should we have done anything different there, Stefanski? I was actually in agreement. My friends were not in agreement with me on that. Nick, what was your take on the punt?
Wait, so you think it shouldn't have been punted?
No, I thought he should have punted.
Yeah, I think you absolutely have to punt.
You were going against Chad Henne.
Yeah, exactly. And I know the nerds with the spreadsheets, say that was like the punt, I forget what it's called. It's like the punt sacrifice index where we were pretty much surrendering the game at that point with that punt. But like you said, Dave, it's Chad Henne, and you punt that ball away, trusting your defense, trusting Myles Garrett. And guess what? It worked all the way up until the very last
way
play.
to 3rd 14.
Myles Garrett made you the play of the season that would have sealed the win against the Super Bowl champs. And I can't get mad about that punt because, like you said, our offense just stalled right there. And once Steve Spagnuolo woke up from his 4th quarter nap for the Chiefs and realized that Blake Hance, great story, love him, think they're going to bring him back in camp next year.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, he's a keeper for sure, but he was at left tackle, trying to corral the likes of Chris Jones, Frank Clark, like the Chiefs' superstar pass rush. So it was just such a tough spot to be in. But yeah, you got to punt that ball away. I get why people are upset. You want to leave the offense on the field. You want to win the game.
If Patrick Mahomes is in, I think you go for it. You don't have that much. You don't have that much faith in the Browns' defense this year. Let's be honest. To make a stop against Patrick Mahomes with less than 4 minutes to go in the game, there's no way. You have to go for it. I would have went for it, but Chad Henne, that's a no-brainer.
It is.
So people getting mad at Stefanski for that, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely not. Because what's maddening is, Dave, like I said, it worked. It worked. You had him in 3rd and long. What you did worked. You had Myles Garrett, your superstar defensive end pass rusher that you spent the first overall pick on. You spent a large portion on your cap space on in that extension. He made the play to make it 3rd and long, and then a QB scramble for 14 yards. Just sickening. Sickening. But that's my initial thoughts. But then they subsided, and then you just go down memory lane and think of the overachievements and think that the core of players are going to be back for the Browns, and they're only going to get stronger. Right. They're the owners of 9 draft picks this offseason. There's a ton of flexibility with what this team is going to be able to do.
Yeah, Philip makes a great point. He says, can you imagine the fit people would have thrown if we didn't convert on that 4th and 9? That's very, very true. You give them a field goal, but it would have made it 8 points.
Yeah, I mean, right. Hindsight's always 20/20 there. I mean, what if they get the 4th and 9, even with Chad Henne? What if they go for it and Njoku has a 9-yard grab, and
right?
Move the chains and then find a way to sustain that drive. It's such a what if situation. But the way that drive was going and the pressure that they were able to simulate against Baker, we couldn't get anything going. And we tried. The play designs were there. Baker's reads were there. That one, throw on, I believe it was 3rd down to the, sideline, the check down to Kareem. That was beautiful. He bobbled it and the defender just made a play. So Those are the type of things that happen throughout a football game. And it's tough, but as is life as a Browns fan, I suppose, and they're going to be back.
That's right.
That's how I walked away feeling when the clock hit 000, is they're going to be back. So many times in the past, you lose to Pittsburgh and the loss just stinks up the whole offseason, and the coach gets fired, the GM gets fired. They whiff on a bunch of draft picks. They make no free agent signings other than Kenny Britt, not to make you spit out your beer.
Wow.
And then you just have no excitement going into the next season.
Yeah,
this isn't that same kind of loss. Imagine First Energy Stadium in a post-COVID and a vaccinated world.
Yep.
63,000 plus. That baby's rocking on the shores of Lake Erie. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, it will. All right, we're going to go try to find Chris here. We will be back here in 1 second. Please enjoy this music. We'll be back in hopefully about 30 seconds. Chris is lost.
Oh, boy. We'll find him.
We'll go find him.
Hopefully.
Nah, that's enough of that song. Welcome back, Christopher. How are you, sir?
Hello?
Hey, you glitched out on us there. We had to kick you out of the room. Can you hear me, Chris? Chris? Up, and he's gone. Technical difficulties. Nick, you're still here. Up, he's coming back. Hold on. All right, 1 second. There's Chris. Nick. Boom.
Hello?
Hi, Chris. Can you hear us? Hello. This is going swimmingly. Chris, can you hear us? Hello. Hi, Chris.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Well, that's your Periscope playing.
Dave, you're muted on the Zoom.
Oh, am I? There we go.
Yeah.
What's up?
There we go. Are we back? Can you hear me?
Yep, we're back.
Nice. Chris, can you hear?
I can.
Excellent. We made it. Chris, you glitched out on us.
Oh, very good.
We had a techno song going with your with your glitch.
Nice.
All right, so we are back. We were just talking Browns. Chris, welcome back, sir.
Dan should be jumping on here any minute, too.
Fantastic. So we're going to welcome in Dan Wetzel, Yahoo Sports, to keep talking about these Cleveland Browns. Chris, we saved you some time. We did some Browns headlines while you were gone. Thanks for everyone sticking with us here. Let's see what's going on in the comments.
You haven't revealed yet
What's that?
what Kevin Porter, what food item he chucked across the room. Have
Oh,
we?
that's still well under wraps.
We
Chris.
haven't missed that.
No.
Good.
Yeah, that's where
Oh,
You didn't
I was
miss that.
here for that breaking news.
Yeah, that's for your ears only, buddy. So yeah, that didn't go anywhere.
Nice.
This is important Cavs news. You'll only get here, folks.
That's right. That is right. All right, so we're going to welcome in Dan Wetzel. We will be back with you guys here in hopefully about 30 seconds. Chris, he said he's about to join.
Yes, is he not showing up there?
Not yet, but we will be right back with Dan Wetzel. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. righty. On the line, we've got Yahoo Sports columnist and New York Times best-selling author Dan Wetzel. Dan, welcome to the Big Play Reflog show, sir. How are you?
Good. Sorry I'm a little late.
Hey,
Well, that was completely my fault, sir. I did not explain that very well, Dan. So thanks for hanging with us on that.
Hey, we're here, though. That's all right. How you guys doing?
Good.
doing well, doing well. So, Dan, let's get right into it. You wrote an article last night, discussed the difference between Stefanski and Andy Reid's huge fourth down decision. Me and Nick were just talking about it. Hindsight, obviously 2020, but what were your thoughts at the time when the Browns punted with 4 minutes left in this game?
You know, look, Stefanski, I think he went twice on fourth down in the game. You know, he didn't make the wrong choice. Andy Reid made the right one, if that makes any sense. But personally, I don't like giving up the ball. If you've got the ball at that point, and field position, I didn't think mattered so much. I understand the win probability of if you stop them, they're going to get a field goal, and now you got to score TD and a 2-point conversion and all that. But I would have taken that shot, or at least in theory. A lot goes into those decisions. But certainly when you're Andy Reid, there's no hesitation on what to do. Now, I know one's 4th and 1, one's 4th and 9, but if the one has got Baker Mayfield, the one's got Chad Henne, and if Kansas City had blown that 4th and 1, Baker Mayfield and the Browns are set up on the 48-yard line with 1:14 left and a chance to win the game with the touchdown. So it's just the level of aggression, and maybe, you know, it's really hard to say because I don't think it's fair to say, well, this is what Kevin Stefanski was thinking or this is what he believes, because I don't know. But certainly I think Andy Reid has coached a lot of playoff games. Yeah. This is his 30th playoff game, and the one thing about the playoffs is anything can happen. It's so fleeting. You only get so many opportunities. It took to Andy Reid's 29th playoff game to win the Super Bowl. And so he wasn't going to give that control away, and the Browns were. That's not necessarily why they won the game, but I thought it was an interesting back and forth in those final 4 minutes. One guy kicks it, one doesn't, and the Browns never got their chance.
So which one were you more surprised by? Which fourth down? Because Romo on the call, you know, he's like, oh, they're not going to snap it, Jim. They're not going to snap it. They snapped the ball. Which one was more surprising to you?
You know, I thought the Chiefs would go for it. I thought when they were just standing there, the way they just stood, I think they're trying to be nonchalant, and it looked like they were trying to run clock. So, like, in that last second, I was like, oh, wow, they did snap it. But that's how Kansas City plays, certainly with Mahomes. And, you know, generally you got to stick to your personality. So I don't know that I was surprised the Browns didn't do it, but I remember at the moment going, God, they may really regret this. I mean, I know it's 4th and 9. Maybe you run all 4 plays, the plays leading up to it, with the understanding you're going to go 4 times. So I don't know. I don't quite know how to answer that honestly. I could make a declaration, but it wouldn't be the case. I was not when they got close on that. On that 3rd down, I was like, they're going to go for it. I mean, this is how they do it. And I think one of the problems with, and this column was really more about the decisions and analytics and all of that and how it all plays. It's a pro-Reid or anti-Stefanski. It's a hard decision. There's so many variables. And one of the variables that don't show up on an analytic chart is you're going against Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, and those guys are going to be super aggressive when they get the ball. They're not going to just run the ball 3 times and try to kill clock. They had 7 plays before the victory formation. They dropped back to pass 5 of them. And that's with Chad Henne. Like, that's how they play. So you're not going to get the benefit of, like, if it's close, they're going to go for it. So the thing about it is through the broadcasters. And so it's like, what's a gutsy call to go for it? Now, it's a gutsy call to not go for it, too. They're all gutsy calls. That's what you have to make. And sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. it was just an interesting kind of a deal for him. But for Cleveland, I mean, you only, I know it feels like you get a million chances, but they have their chance, and I think at some point there's gonna be a level of disappointment of like, geez, we had Kansas City at 22 points and Mahomes out of the game. The game you'd like to win that game.
So Dan, we're all obviously kind of homers here, but as a national media member, what tier would you put the Cleveland Browns in right now going forward? I mean, a Super Bowl contender, division contender, maybe a wild card team going forward. What do you think they're in right now? What level?
I mean, I think I'd put them in like that second level after. I mean, who knows going into next year, but
right.
I think as you look at it, you go, well, Kansas City and Green Bay, I thought were better than everybody else this year.
Yeah.
And then you're in that second group, which is going to be a mix. And I think going forward in the AFC, the way Mayfield played this year, you're in that mix. Now, the problem is there's a lot of really good teams in that mix. The AFC is loaded going forward. You got Mahomes. Someone's got to beat him every year because they're going to be there. You've got Josh Allen. You've got Baker Mayfield. You've got Lamar Jackson. Deshaun Watson, is in the conference. Now, who knows where he's going to end up. He may be out of the conference. And then you've got Trevor Lawrence maybe coming, like the level of talent in there. So, but I would say in the foreseeable future, you're in that mix. You may not be the favorite, but you're going to be in that mix. And I would expect all these QBs to have a lot of epic games going forward.
How about within the division? Where do you see the Browns, relative to what the Steelers are going to be going through, where you see the Ravens and maybe even the Bengals right now?
Well, I mean, the Steelers are the X factor because they're going to have to, they'll have Roethlisberger next year. You're not going to count them out from having a good season as long as Tomlin and Roethlisberger are there. But is that the last year of Roethlisberger? So I'd say next year it would still be, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Baltimore at the top. Bengals trying to get there. But I like Cleveland's long term and Baltimore's long term. Probably Cleveland's more than Baltimore even.
Music to my ears.
Pittsburgh's going to need to find a quarterback.
Yeah. Music to all of our ears.
The quarterback play is so good in the AFC. Yeah. I mean, look, Cleveland, disappointing loss yesterday, right? Like I said, if you'd gone, if I told you Saturday Mahomes could be out of the game and you're holding 22, you go, I want to win that game. Yeah. Right? It's not like Mahomes has been thrown for 500, you're not going to win. You had a shot, but I do think after 18 years without a playoff appearance and so many years of just not even being relevant, the ability of the Browns and for Browns fans to sit there and say, hey, 5 years at least, has got to be really, really exciting. So I hope you guys I assume this is a fairly upbeat end of the season show.
It is. You just tagged it. It absolutely is.
Yeah, kind of changing gears here, though, Dan, off the Cleveland Browns. You wrote an article about the situation that Urban Meyer is walking into in Jacksonville. Obviously, a lot of draft capital, pretty good cap space as well. Do you think Urban has the potential to be successful at the pro level?
Did we lose him?
Yeah, I think he does. There's a couple things, and he's very good at building a culture. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me? No? I don't know.
Yep, you're good.
Yes, we could hear you.
All right. Am I there? All right. Sorry. Okay, sorry. His best thing is building culture, building stats, the ability with nearly $100 million in cap space, 11 draft picks, 4 in the top 50. You're going to get Trevor Lawrence if you want him. Or you can put some package together and get Deshaun Watson if you want him or something like that. They can do whatever they need to do. I think he can change a lot there and have a lot of success. This is a great opportunity Can he handle losing? We'll see. You know, every Buckeye fan knows what a nightmare he is after a loss. You know, the pizza at the Michigan State, where he's sitting on the golf, the big Michigan games. He's practically collapsed on the field after winning. I mean, he doesn't even do well with close victories. So this is going to be something, but he's going to be able to get a lot of talent in there that he wants. And he got you know, the franchise to basically say, well, he's going to have a big say in what's going on. So I think he can be successful. I don't think this is not a guy that only wins because he has better talent. It's not a guy with, you know, he knows he doesn't have to. It's not like his trick offense or something like that. I mean, he's a very smart guy. When you look at his teams, he won right away at places.
Yeah.
He coached Bowling Green and went 9-3 right away. Twice.
Action,
it wasn't because
baby.
he had recruited all these great players. He gets to Utah. They go 11, 12 and 0, whatever, his second year. Yeah, Maction. He does it at Utah. He wins the title his second year at Florida. His first year at Ohio State, they're undefeated. Now, they had a postseason ban, and they probably would have lost if they, you know, had gone forward. But the guy gets things done really quick. And obviously, you know, so I think he's got a great shot. It's a great job. If it's not this, then no, he can't. I mean, he'll do better with this situation than like walking into most other jobs.
It will be interesting. Well, Dan, thanks for being on with us. Dan, do you have anything to promote here?
No, I'm good. I hope everybody enjoyed the fun season for the Browns. That's about it. I was happy for Cleveland. Everyone was.
Yeah.
Although I thought
you know,
if it ended up being the Browns and Bills, it was like a sign of the apocalypse. It's like, oh boy, someone's gonna get crushed here. This is too much. Like,
yeah.
I think everyone can
exactly,
stand
especially
losing
with
to
our
Kansas
fan
City,
base.
but I'm not sure if Buffalo could stood losing to Cleveland. Yeah, and Cleveland losing to Buffalo, like that just would have been too much. There would have been like guys would have had a meeting like Erie and had a brawl or some kind of.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been good. This is probably the best way.
It wouldn't have been good for a lot of people's livers, that's for sure. Well, Dan, thank you so much for being on. We had some technical difficulties, and thanks for kind of navigating those with us this evening.
Anytime. Take care, guys.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
All right. Dan Wetzel, go check him out. Yahoo Sports. Some good old Browns articles wrapping up the season. Sorry for the technical difficulties there, but appreciate Dan taking some time to spend with us here. Let's get back into some headlines, Chris. Let's get it going.
Dive back in.
Dive right back in and talk more Browns. Why not? So we were talking just immediate thoughts right after that game ended. Chris, what was the instant reaction for you?
Well, I put it out there on Twitter. It was, we'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, and we will be. And I really felt that. I felt really positive even after that game. I know a lot of people, maybe the young bloods out there were saying, you know, this goes down in the pantheon of Browns failures where we weren't able to get it done with Chad Henne at quarterback. And I don't know. This doesn't even rate in the top 10, I don't think, of Cleveland failures for me. And I really see this as building. It's building towards something. You know, this isn't your father's Browns. Hell, it's not even your brother's Browns. This is a Browns team that I think is going to go far here in the next few years. We're going to see some leaps and bounds out of this team from year to year. I think Stefanski is a fantastic coach. I know that there were some opportunities, and as Dan Wetzel just was talking about, you know, maybe some strategic maneuvers that a guy like Andy Reid was able to outmaneuver our guy and outflank him yesterday. But I really think that he is so far and above the head coaches we've had for a long time in Cleveland. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think Baker's coming along well. And quite frankly, we've been built in the trenches on the offensive line, and I love seeing that. So much so that we could plug in a guy who hadn't even met our quarterback up until 2 weeks ago to play a key role these last couple of weeks. And that's really heartening. If you're going to be able to run the ball in this division and have a good line, then the chips are going to fall into place. And I really see that as a base. And going forward, I think the sky's the limit. We've got opportunities on defense. I'm still worried about a guy like Myles Garrett, even with an off season. Boy, I hope he comes back to be the Myles Garrett he was before COVID.
Yeah.
I think, for him personally, and then as from a performance standpoint, and, getting back our corners, Greedy Williams, Grant Delpit, that's going to help. And then we know that Andrew Berry's going to go out and he's going to plug in some players. And hopefully we hit a home run in this draft. We're going to be, picking in a spot that we're not accustomed to later on in the first round now. So it's going to be a key off season for us, but we're going to be drafting for depth. We're going to need some top end at the defensive end, but I'm really excited, boys, about next season for the Cleveland Browns. And this is, far and away the most positive I've felt in years about the Browns coming off a season.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And one thing that no one really talks about is Andrew Billings, defensive tackle that we brought. He didn't play this season because of COVID. He can step up on the defensive tackle front. He's a good player. So there's a lot of defensive help kind of coming back here for the Cleveland Browns. You mentioned Stefanski kind of getting out-coached a little bit by Andy Reid. I know some people on Twitter have been mad at Stefanski during the season for some play calling, not running Chubb enough. But he's probably the biggest surprise of the season for me in terms of positivity moving forward. Because, can you imagine Freddie Kitchens, 4th and 9, he doesn't punt it. He would run a draw play. Like, we've come a very, very far way since those old coaching days of people like Freddie Kitchens. So Stefanski, and I want to know your guys' surprise this season. He's mine. Because Chris, Bree was on the show with us at the time. She was super excited about the hire. We're like, yeah, we'll see. We've been here before. Who knows what's going to actually happen? He's my biggest surprise this year. Who would yours be if you had to pick one surprise for the season that you think might kind of continue on into next season and keep this thing going?
Boy, that's a tough one. We saw some. I'd love to go to the offensive line with some of those guys, but it was really more of a unit type of deal.
Yeah.
How about Nick Chubb, just continuing to week after week churn it out. I guess here in the last couple of weeks you hadn't seen the yardage pile up, and there were some questions about why he was in it sometimes and not in it others. But I think as a whole, overall in the season, to have Nick Chubb be there week in and week out, I think that was a pleasant surprise because you see running backs in the league have a good season and then just disappear. And Nick Chubb was able to keep up that high level, I think, this year. And that was really key for us, especially early on when we were really trying to find ourselves and figure out what kind of a team that we were. Having Nick Chubb as that consistent force in the backfield, I think, was important.
Yeah, and looking at the comments here, Buckeye Follower says the whole front office was their surprise. Brian Vaughn says Bill Callahan. God, what a good hire that was. Kind of parlaying your thoughts there, Chris. And then Philip says biggest surprise has to be Teller. What a trade. The Cleveland Browns have made some phenomenal trades. Teller, Ronnie Harrison, you're getting them for not much at all. Huge contributors for this Browns team. So, Nick, what would you say is your biggest surprise?
Yeah, Paul DePodesta. We listened to him via Zoom before Zoom was cool.
Yeah,
I'd like to say that, but really Baker. I know it's such an easy answer, but coming into this year, everyone's narrative was it was such a big prove it year. And up until week 6, he was so Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He was up and down. The interception problems were still there, just in smaller spots. And then whatever happened after that bye week, for him to really turn his whole career around after the bye week, that's tip of the hat to Kevin Stefanski, to Alex Van Pelt, because they were really able to save what I believe is Baker Mayfield's career in Cleveland. And we went from a conversation at the bye of what do you do with this guy's 5th-year option to at what point do you give him the keys to the franchise and let him sit in the driver's seat and sign that long-term quarterback extension that we haven't been able to talk about in Cleveland for a really long time. So I think my biggest surprise of the season is just Baker Mayfield, because he stepped up the way that we all really so badly wanted him to. And he was impressive ever since that Week 7 game against Cincy.
Biggest disappointment?
Oh, that's tough. Chris, you want me to go? Because I have one.
Do it.
Who are you going to throw under the bus?
Let's do it.
I don't want to do this.
Do it.
It had to come out at some point. The biggest disappointment has to be Odell Beckham Jr., right? I mean, now that we're how many
He got hurt.
He's hurt, Nick.
He got hurt.
Think of how
you're crapping on a hurt man.
Think of how anemic that offense looked before that injury, guys. And just, I'm so excited. I want to preface this by saying I'm so excited for Odell to come back next year, because I think now that Baker's head is back in the right space post Freddie, and he, like Kevin Stefanski joked today that, Baker's excited about not having to learn another offense this offseason like he has every offseason throughout his young NFL career. I think reinserting Odell at this time will be really good for both Baker and Odell. And I don't think we have seen the peak of him. I think if he could fit in like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen, like Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, what they have going, it would be huge. But just to see that where we lacked on defense all year was that interior pass rush. Well, guess who the Giants took number 17 overall with our pick? Dexter Lawrence, big 300-pound nose tackle that could clog the run, that could stop some offenses. And then Jabril Peppers, who really came into his own, especially earlier this year. That I'm so glad that my most disappointing player was somebody that was hurt. I think that's a testament to how good of a season it was. But Odell just has to be my most disappointing, because the best ability is availability, and he wasn't available. And when he was, things weren't going too well.
Oof, tough critic.
You got to shop him in the offseason, though, right?
No. I mean,
I'm serious. You got to
listen.
Tires.
Sure you listen, but I don't think realistically anyone's going to give anything worth, moving the needle on a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. You watch the game yesterday and you see the Browns unable to move the ball late in the game. Anything more.
That's the guy we were missing.
Anything more than 3 or 4 yards, you're missing somebody that could stretch the field. And I think Odell Beckham could be that guy. I think the Browns are going to explore other options at wide receiver too earlier in the draft than some people might expect, because that's the thing that misses. That's the only thing that's missing on this whole offense is the guy that could just take a top off a defense.
There's got to be another Gettleman out there who'll make a trade back for OBJ.
You think we get a first?
Starting
linebacker?
Yeah, right.
Hell, Houston.
No,
Houston,
come on, Chris. You really want to trade Odell?
I'm listening to all offers.
Sure, you listen to any player.
I'm not.
No.
That's exactly right. Everybody's for sale.
But what if like the offer, like the best you could get is like a second or third round?
No, there's no way you move on from it.
No way.
You don't move them. Then you don't move them. But you've got to. You're not doing your job as a GM if you're not shopping them a little bit.
All right.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. You plug him in. You plug him into this offense, not the offense.
You saw him plugged into this offense, Dave.
Nah, that offense wasn't moving. That offense we had not found our groove yet.
Once we got our groove back, Stella over here.
You put him in.
The groove back.
Stella found his.
Plug it back in. Now he's all good. All right, Dave.
You plug him into this offense. It's happening.
Right.
Here's a catch.
I'm not saying you act. I'm not saying that you're aggressively moving him like we got to get rid of this guy. He's a cancer in the locker room. I'm just saying that he is an asset that has underperformed on our team, so therefore should be a client or should be a candidate to be shopped to another team. That's all I am saying.
That's very logical. Chris, who's your biggest disappointment?
Oh man. I mean, do I go Sendejo? Is it too easy?
Oh, that's the low hanging fruit.
It's low hanging fruit.
I mean,
it really is.
On.
We've been piling on that.
What were
guy
your
off.
expectations of Sendejo going into this season?
That's true. How about I give you this one? A friend of show, Jamie Gillen. I mean,
Really? Okay.
I really, I expect a lot. Let me preface it by saying that. I expect a lot out of Jamie Gillen. And it's kind of nice not to have your punter on the field very often. We're not used to that kind of in Cleveland. So the fact that he doesn't get that many shots is great. But the fact that, he had a couple of just some punts that put us in some bad spots that did not change field position quite the way we wanted it to.
He was rusty.
And he was a bit rusty. And, once again, I have high expectations for this guy. I think he's got a swagger, and you see those off-season videos of him. You expect a punter who's just going to change the game as much as a punter can. And I didn't see that out of Jamie Gillen. So sorry, Jamie, you're a friend of show. Come on the show. Tell me I'm wrong. I would love it. We can have a pint together. But I'm going to nominate you as my disappointing player.
All right, that's fair.
How about Austin Seibert?
Oh my God.
A very early candidate for disappointment of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I would go Cody Parkey here, but I had zero expectation for him.
Yeah, he exceeded my expectations, really.
I wouldn't go that far. I don't think he even kicked one over 50 yards.
Of Cody Parkey? Of Cody Parkey, he did everything I could have asked. He made a few. He missed a few. We weren't the laughing embarrassment of double doink. What more could I have asked?
Yeah, that's true. I think so. Disappointment for you. I'm going to go friend of the show as well. I'm going to go Mac Wilson. I had huge expectations for Mac. He got hurt. That set him back. I say this with love. He missed some tackles. He knows it. He's already talked about it. This dude, he's going to come back. And Baker had a sophomore slump. Mac Wilson had a sophomore slump. I think we're going to see him return and be the player that we all kind of wanted him to be this year. So we shall see. Two friends of show, Chris, made the disappointment list.
That's going to hurt.
We're going to have no...
Don't cut those up into promos and send them to the Browns or anything.
Yeah, I won't. The only person that's left is Odell, right? He's got to come on. Come on, Odell.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Case Keenum.
Disappointment? No.
Didn't really get a chance.
His leadership, Chris. Baker is in a phenomenal spot.
Shoehorn him into the conversation. Your buddy.
Case Keenum. I hope he's with us for a long time. Speaking of people who we want for a long time, re-signing some guys, some notable free agents. Tell me if you guys want them.
We'll go yes or no. Okay. Nick and I are going to vote each of these.
All right. I'll be the tiebreaker if you're undecided here. All right, Vernon. Olivier Vernon.
Resign.
Go. Gotta go.
Gotta go. I'm with Nick. Chris, you're vetoed.
I love him,
30 years old, coming off an injury. There's no way this front office is going to bring him back.
He had some money games.
He did?
I'll tell you what.
What do you have, eight sacks?
When Myles
9
Garrett
sacks?
was out, that he came up big.
He did.
Okay. You guys want to get rid of him? Fine. Who are you going to put in there?
Rashard Higgins.
Curtis Weaver, baby.
Curtis Weaver.
Remember the name. Curtis Weaver.
Wow.
3rd round pick this year. Got hurt, got cut. He's on your Cleveland Browns, rehabbing and ready to roll.
All right, let's keep going. Rashard Higgins.
Resign.
Absolutely. Ding, ding, ding. Larry Ogunjobi.
Goodbye.
Yeah, okay. I would almost keep him if the money's right.
That's Billings season. And
yeah, I hear you.
And your 1st round pick is I hate to do this and people are going to shut me off. Probably not going to be a linebacker that goes against the analytic philosophy. Could be an interior defensive tackle. So be on the lookout for that.
Secondary, Terrence Mitchell.
Goodbye.
Depends on the price.
Goodbye,
Yeah,
really?
Depends on the price.
We are so weak at that position.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's why I'm, I want to see what our options are.
That's fair. All right, undecided. BJ Goodson.
Goodbye.
Adios. Kevin Johnson, another cornerback.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
His cleats are in molasses. Goodbye.
Carl Joseph.
Big pick yesterday.
I'd like to see him back. I would.
He's a young dude, too.
Yeah, keep him.
I think you definitely keep Carl Joseph if you can sign him for a pretty fair contract. Sendejo Chris.
I'll drive him to the airport.
Caldwell Hodge. Kadero Hodge.
Goodbye.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I hear him. Port Augustin.
Stay.
Okay. Malcolm Smith. Super Bowl
Yeah.
Malcolm Smith.
Time to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Depends on the money, but more than likely time to get rid of him. I think he helped Taki a lot in the run game.
Yeah. Jacob Phillips was talking about how he's one of the best mentors on that team. So that's a that's a young linebacking core. Maybe we got to keep one of them around. Last one, Cody Parkey.
Yeah,
Oh.
why not?
Keep Cody Parkey?
Let's
Chris,
go.
what?
Let's go for the roller coaster for another year.
Oh my
Come on.
God! No,
Wild card,
bring.
bitches.
Let's bring
Wild
Greg
card.
Joseph back. Let's go.
Oh gosh.
All right, so
You definitely bring a kicker into camp or 2 or 4.
yeah, I would say so. How about that YouTube guy? Remember way back in
Yeah.
the day? What was his name?
I
Nick,
don't
you're one of the young YouTube
I
kids.
have no idea.
No, all right. Let's move on. Who should we root for in the playoffs now that we're out?
Who cares?
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
are you jumping on Bills Mafia or no?
Yeah, though, here's my problem.
What's that?
Right? I have a soft spot for the Bills. I think we all
Yeah.
do. The Lake Erie Bros, the whole 9 yards, and they're kind of like us, and they supported us when our team was gone. But I would really love to see Kansas City go out and roll them, and say, "Whoa, looks like the Cleveland Browns, by the transitive properties, weren't exactly that bad, were they?" I mean, I'd
fair.
really like to see that, even though it means absolutely nothing. I mean, psychologically, for me as a fan, being the petty man that I am, I would love to see that. So I'm very split on that one.
And I don't hate the Chiefs. Like, if it was a team that I hated, I'd say Bills, go destroy them. But Chris, I'm kind of with you. I would like a little. All right, we're a good team. We can go to the Super Bowl next year.
So on the outside, I'm rooting for the Bills, but on the inside, I'm secretly pulling for Kansas City to roll their asses.
That's fair. And Nick, you said you're going with Green Bay, really?
I'm going with either of the NFC teams, actually. Why
Really?
not? I mean, it's cool either way. Aaron Rodgers put together a hell of a season. And I think it's always cool, like the Aaron Rodgers, like, piss off tour that he goes on every few years when somebody makes him mad. He plays incredibly well. Well, the Packers just made him mad. They drafted Jordan Love in the first round, and he went off on an MVP season. I love Aaron Rodgers personally. I think he's, one of the best throwers of the football of all time. And then obviously Tom Brady, people want to say system quarterback. A lot of people hate him. He is a system quarterback because he is the system, and the system is winning football games and making it to championships. So I'm good with either of the guys on the NFC. And then, like Chris said, I'm secretly pulling for KC to roll Buffalo as well.
You just want to see
I wanna
Mike
see-
Pettin get a ring.
No, I don't want to see that.
Well, that would happen, Nick.
Everybody except Mike Pettin gets a ring, especially Mike
He
Pettin's
gets
daughter.
fired. He
I
gets
love.
fired.
Why did you hate Mike Pettin? I liked Mike Pettin.
I just thought, like,
Old high school coach. Come on.
yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
exactly. The whole Johnny Hoyer back and forth thing every week drove me crazy. And I think
All right.
Pettin secretly liked it. It was like he was on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
Oh my
And
God.
each week he got to choose who's getting the rose and who's getting to stay. And he milked it every. Oh, I'm not sure who's going to be the starter yet. We'll announce.
All
it on
right, that's enough Pettin slander on this show.
I agree. We need more baseball cards. So that's
You want to
what
go
we're gonna-
baseball cards?
We're going baseball cards.
All right, then we're going Stump the Flog.
That's fair.
I have to judge this week, guys. I have to wake up from my nap that usually is this segment with Noah out.
Thanks,
That's
Nick.
right. That's exactly.
All right, let's open some
Look
baseball
alive.
cards.
I gotta find my music. Let's see. Where's my music? Baseball cards. There it is.
Do we have gum?
All right. We got Fleer 91, and we've got 1989 score. Which one would you like, Dave?
I will go Fleer.
We are going to go Fleer 91.
I've been on a cold streak.
This also comes with a sticker and no gum, apparently.
There you go. That's a win.
Dodge that bullet. Let's see. Hopefully these cards are a little better than last week. Sticker is going to be your Baltimore Orioles.
Boo.
Expos pitcher Tim Burke. Yankees pitcher Tim Leary. Twins pitcher Rick Aguilera.
All right.
Yankees shortstop Alvaro Espinoza. That's a keeper. Right
That's a
there.
winner right there.
Brewers pitcher Ted Higuera. I don't. Oh, the crime dog. Padres. Wow, this is when he played for the Padres. Padres first baseman Fred McGriff.
That is a really good card.
Dave.
Yeah. Tigers outfielder Lloyd Mosby. Mariners first baseman Pete O'Brien.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Jay Buhner. Shoot.
Athletics outfielder Dave Henderson. Not bad.
Okay.
Mets second baseman Tom Herr. Blue Jays pitcher Dave Steeb. Phillies catcher Darren Fletcher. Blue Jays pitcher Dwayne Ward. White Sox outfielder Dan Pasqua. Who do you like? I got Fred McGriff.
Oh, yeah. I'm going Espinoza and Fred McGriff.
That's a good choice, my friend. Where is Alvaro Espinoza? Yankees shortstop with Rex Specs, Alvaro Espinoza. And
That's
I'm going to
right.
open up my 1989 score. With
Oh,
my
using the teeth.
Good
though.
work.
dentist is
In a
not
pandemic.
Mariners third baseman Jim Presley. Pirates second baseman Jose Lind. Mets left fielder Kevin McReynolds. Dodgers left fielder Kirk Gibson.
That's all right. Error.
Oh, Pirates third baseman Bobby Bonilla.
Wow. Still getting paid.
Still being paid by the Mets. The Mets.
I got to explain that story to Cam the other day, and it was awesome.
It's a fantastic contract.
Giants pitcher Mike Kruckrow. Padres outfielder Shane Mack. Pirates relief pitcher Bob Kipper. Astros catcher Alan Ashby. I think he also played for the Indians later on. Brewers DH Joey Meyer. Giants outfielder Donnell Nixon. I am going to lose. Twins pitcher Fred Tolliver. Royals catcher Jamie Quirk. Braves pitcher John Smoltz.
Oh,
Smoltzy!
Bonilla and Smoltz. That's a tough
that's
beat.
pretty solid right there. Okay, I've got Kirk Gibson on my bench. I got two rookie cards: Mike Harkey, Craig Worthington. Don't really help me out much.
No.
So I'm gonna go John Smoltz and Kirk Gibson.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
You're
For
over
Bobby
Schmaltz?
Yep. You've got Alvaro Espinoza and the Crime Dog.
That could be your downfall, Chris. That could be your downfall.
Nick,
See, Chris, that is your downfall because little known fact, Dave and I once saw Smoltz on his way out of the 9 downtown loading some golf clubs into his car.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember that as we were walking into the MLB All-Star weekend. So, yeah, I'm going with Dave. Give me Espinoza.
Yes.
what?
Espinoza.
Alvaro
Espinoza.
Close enough.
I would have taken it. I would have taken it though. I would have taken Smoltzy.
Well, that's what I had. I had Smoltz on my team.
No, you.
Pick him though. He
That
wasn't
was
in his
that
final
was
two.
user error.
Yeah.
You ruined it there, Chris. That you had it locked up.
No, I said I kept him on my team. I got rid of Bobby Bonilla.
No.
No.
You
Bobby
said Bonilla and
No, I said I took Smoltz and Kirk Gibson.
did he? We're
think
gonna
you
have to
said
check the
Bonilla.
replay.
Yeah,
I said I bumped Bobby Bonilla.
No, we're gonna check the tape.
I'm giving Dave the dub either way.
Oh my god,
R.I.P. Bonilla.
this is the worst.
Oh, that was
Chris,
rigged.
you got to pick the guy that.
I
sounds
did
like
pick
that.
Smoltz. Go back and listen to the tape.
I can't wait to go back, and Chris is definitely wrong.
Wrong.
We'll play that clip next week.
All right, speaking of rigged, let's move on to Stump the Flog, one of my favorite games that both these guys hate. All right, so I'm going to put a question out there. These guys are going to go back and forth if you never saw Stump the Flog before.
Oh,
First,
horrible.
to not be able to answer will lose the game. So let me pull up the question. I believe we have some music.
How awesome would
Yes.
it be if Nick cheated the phone here? You know, active Cavaliers roster or something.
Right? This is a fair matchup. It's not a generational battle or anything like that. So we are going to go with... Let me find it. All right. This week on Stump the Flog, we are going with players who had a carry or a reception for the 2020-2021 Browns. There are 20 of them.
Carry or a reception.
Carry or a reception for your Cleveland Browns. Chris, we'll let you kick it off.
Baker Mayfield.
Correct.
He had a
Nick
nice
Chubb.
reception yesterday. Didn't he?
Nick Chubb.
Correct.
OBJ.
Correct.
Jarvis Landry.
Correct.
Higgins.
Correct.
Kareem Hunt.
Correct.
Daryl Hodge.
Correct.
Jamarcus Bradley.
Correct. Well done. Huge game.
Njoku.
Correct.
Harrison Bryant.
Wow. Correct.
Ernest, the running back.
Dearnest.
Ernest. I don't remember.
Ja.
Oh, this is spoon feeding.
Ja.
Give it to me. I said
Ja.
I got
His name isn't Ernest.
Dearnest Johnson.
You still can't get it.
Did you not hear me? All right.
No, I can't hear you.
Dearnest Johnson. We'll give it to him. Nick.
Oh my goodness. Austin Hooper.
Correct.
Oh, man. He's been a target all over the place, too. Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Correct.
That's a good one.
About halfway there.
Man, we're only halfway there.
Feels like we've been, wow. Okay.
That's the hot seat.
Yeah, I definitely feel that seat warming up here in front of me. Who was the other running back? Dontrell Hilliard.
That is correct. Well done.
That was tough.
Damn it. Who is the lineman who caught that ball?
Oh, baby.
He was on Nick's show.
Yup, just exchanged some words with him today.
Look at you, name dropping.
Yep. A name that you cannot think of.
Set him up.
The end of the line for me. We've said Jarvis Landry, right?
Yep.
Obviously. So Donovan Peoples-Jones, said OBJ. Harrison Bryant.
Chris, I'll give you one clue. You named him earlier in the show
I named him earlier in the show.
for a question. On a play that we had been asking for years.
Jamie Gillen.
Jamie Gillen. Correct.
That's insane. All right, well, I'll take the low-hanging fruit. Kendall Land.
Correct.
I gave you that one. Carried the ball.
Or caught it.
Carl Joseph. He intercepted it.
That doesn't count.
What?
A reception. A reception.
Oh, not an interception.
Trying to get on the technicality there. Nice well.
I
Nice
was.
work.
That's why I asked the question. I think I'm spent.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good by you guys. All right, Nick.
Who do we miss? Who do we miss?
Case Keenum, did he come in for?
Nick,
No.
first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I got hosed in two separate games.
All right, so the people that we missed, Steven Carlson, fourth tight end
Oh,
on this
I was
team.
so close. I didn't know if he got one, though.
He got one. Marvin Hall during that Jets game where we had no wide receivers. The Jamarcus game that you mentioned, Bradley.
Yep.
Andy Janovich, our fullback.
Yeah.
He kind of disappeared.
JoJo Natson.
JoJo did have a carry. Okay.
One carry
that was
versus
early.
Washington. Yeah.
Yep, that was early in the season.
And that's it. You guys almost made it through the whole list.
Yeah,
That is well
fullback,
done.
Fourth string tight end and a gadget receiver. Not bad. And
Yeah.
Marvin Hall, who's a healthy scratch all year. Pretty
Yeah, that is fantastic. Well done, gentlemen.
Because I will fight you.
That's what I think about that. I'll fight you.
All right, let's do a new segment, then we're going to get the heck out of here.
Keep
Running
writing
late.
it.
We're going best tweet worst tweet of the week. So you guys, as you're watching this show throughout the week, shoot over a good one or a bad one, and we will use it on the show if it wins. Worst tweet of the week, best tweet of the week. Make it happen. Let's kick it off with, I'll start with the best.
Boom. Roasted. Got him!
All right, this week I am giving the Cleveland Browns Twitter @Browns video of the fans welcoming home this playoff team after the loss. Hundreds and hundreds of fans showed up to greet the team after that tough loss. Thank them for an amazing season. So it really goes out to all the Browns fans. Incredible stuff. Watching this video on the screen here. Look how many people showed up to welcome this team home. More people there than some championship celebrations in other cities. So fantastic stuff. Cleveland, greatest city on the planet. Best fans in the world. Tweet of the week goes to the Cleveland Browns. Chris, worst tweet of the week.
Absolutely is going to Johnny Manziel for his antics yesterday. Trolling the Cleveland Browns fans like a spurned ex-girlfriend. Just pathetic, really. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Johnny Manziel's life. Obviously not a whole lot, but you look pretty bad when your team has gone to the playoffs, something that you never did in Cleveland. You weren't even close to that level. And then for some reason deciding you want to troll the fans because we lost in the second round of the playoffs to a very good Kansas City team. He only wishes he would have sniffed that kind of success. But Johnny Manziel decided to take that opportunity to try and troll everybody out there. And Johnny, you win. You are the worst once again.
And in the comments, we had an honorable mention. Worst tweet of the week goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. Thanks, Jared, for the helmet-to-helmet tweet that they put out there, congratulating
Dirty
Dan.
Big plays. How about it?
Nick, take us out.
I didn't see that one. I'll also give myself one.
Oh,
I'll tell you, because I said after that big interception that Chad Henne threw, I put it in all caps. Chad Henne, you beautiful Michigan
man.
Yeah, that came back to bite me pretty quickly. It was like a boomerang. Came right back around.
That's awesome.
That's awesome stuff, man. Well, I'm going to take us out tonight. What a fun show. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us throughout this hour plus. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Huge thanks to ShackNews.com. Go check them out. Shack Vortex. Go get in the conversation. Everything that's happening in the video game world. ShackNews.com. And next Monday, we do it all again. You know, Cavs season rolls on. Tribe right around the corner. And more Cleveland Browns off season. So we'll see you guys next week. And thanks for watching.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
Cut back by Chubb. He's to the 10.